Part 6, how matching works and how to spot red flags. Imagine getting locked into a contract with a terrible agency. One that doesn't communicate well, one that ignores your preferences, or worse, one that leaves you sitting for months without a match and doesn't let you leave. It happens more often than we'd like to think. Some agencies tie surrogates into exclusive contracts before a match is even made. And if you're stuck in one, you can be there for 6 months or longer, unable to work with anyone else, even if something feels off. Which is why what we're talking about here in part 6 is so important. Welcome back to the Surrogacy Quick Start Guide. You made it to the final episode in the series, and that says a lot about you and your commitment. You're showing up, you're doing the work, and you're making sure that this journey works for you. Here in part 6, we're going to be talking about matching with intended parents. We're going to talk about how matching works, the role of agencies, what makes a good match feel so good, how to spot red flags, and what you need to know before saying yes to anyone. Matching can be one of the most exciting parts of surrogacy, but before you rush into it or sign with the first agency that calls you back, you deserve to be fully informed and fully prepared. Let's get into it. Agency match versus independent match. When it comes to matching with intended parents, there are 2 main pathways. You can go through an agency or you can do it on your own in something that's called independent surrogacy. Let's start with agencies. Agencies usually help with everything. They walk you through screening, legal contracts, payment, and coordination. They take your preferences and try to match you with intended parents who align. You'll be shown profiles, and if something feels right, the agency will set up a call to see if the connection feels right. A lot of surrogates love having this extra layer of support. It can be really comforting to have a case manager who's filtering out profiles, who's handling the logistics, and who's taken on all that busy work. They're also going to be walking you through every step of the way. But here's the thing. There are hundreds of agencies out there, and there's also new ones that are popping up all the time. So you're gonna have to decide which one is right for you. Thankfully, we have lots of tips inside Bloombridge to help you do just that. Now, let's talk about independent surrogacy. You might be surprised to hear this, but you don't actually need an agency. You don't need an agency to match, and you don't need an agency to walk you through the process. You can do it without. So doing surrogacy without the help of an agency is called independent surrogacy, and it kind of has a bad name because it makes it sound like you're on your own doing a DIY project, but that couldn't be further from the truth. With independent surrogacy, you still work with professionals like lawyers and doctors and sometimes even independent case managers. You also follow the exact same steps that an agency does. The main difference here is that with independent surrogacy, it's you and your intended parents who are in the driver's seat. You and the parents take on a bit more of the legwork, sometimes a lot more of the legwork, let's keep it real. And together you guys are coordinating things like your own travel, appointments, communication, but you also get more control over your match, your terms, your timeline, and your choices. So how do people match independently? There are a few different ways. It can be through word of mouth, like maybe a friend of a friend has reached out looking for a surrogate and that's what brought you here. Or it can be through social media or even directly through attorneys or consultants who help intended parents and surrogates match. And of course, right here on Bloombridge, you can view intended parent profiles and explore matches at your own pace. Here on Bloombridge, you have a mix. You have some intended parents who are looking to stay completely independent. You have other intended parents who want to match on their own, and then they want to work with an agency or a case manager to help them coordinate the rest of surrogacy. And then you also have others that are already signed with an agency. It also means that you get to decide what type of match and journey you want, whether you want a fully independent one or one that has a little bit more guidance involved. Neither way is better. You just have to find a setup that works for your preferences, your comfort level, the amount of time and energy you have to devote to the process, and the type of journey that you want. What makes a good match? A good match is more than just clicking. It's more than just having a really great conversation on your match call. Here's some things that you need to look for. Of course, number one, you have to agree on the surrogacy first 6, right? It is the first 6 for a reason. So things like termination, vaccination, communication style, and delivery plans. You need to feel respected and listened to, not pushed or pressured. You and the intended parents need to be on the same page about the type of relationship that you want, both during and after pregnancy. And everyone needs to have clear expectations set up. That way nothing is vague or confusing. When it feels right, you'll know it. And if something feels off, don't ignore that. Red flags to watch out for. Unfortunately, not every situation is safe or well set up. Here are some signs that should make you pause or maybe even walk away. Number one is no legal contract. If someone wants to move forward without involving a lawyer, that's a huge red flag. No, you're not going to be a surrogate with no contract or someone writing up a contract on their own laptop. No way. Next is pressure to move quickly. If you're being rushed into matching, signing, starting medications before you feel ready, slow things down. You deserve time to think, time to talk to your loved ones to be able to spot things that don't feel quite right. Number 3 is vague or missing answers about medical history. If intended parents seem unwilling to share details about their embryos, past IVF cycles, medical decisions, especially around things like embryo quality or genetic testing, that's a red flag. No, intended parents don't need to put everything out there in public, but if your relationship is at the level where you're thinking about matching, you deserve to know these types of details and to have full, honest information before saying yes. And then number 4 is disrespecting your boundaries or values. If intended parents or an agency dismisses your preferences about big things like termination, communication, or how you want to give birth, take that stuff seriously. You're not just a body, and they should want a partner in this process. And of course, if something feels too good to be true, it probably is. Like if an agency is advertising a crazy high compensation, you need to ask yourself, what's the catch? Some final thoughts on this topic. Matching is one of the most important steps. It will make or break your experience. Don't settle for a match that makes you feel unsure or uncomfortable. You are allowed to say no. You're allowed to slow down and wait because you deserve a journey that feels good from start to finish. Congratulations, you've made it all the way through all 6 parts of this guide. And I hope you're feeling more confident and prepared than when you started. If you're ready for the next step, go on and explore the rest of the Bloombridge Surrogacy app. You're gonna find tools, resources, and personalized support to help you match safely, plan smart, feel supported, and enjoy this entire experience. You are at the beginning of something beautiful, and we're here to make sure that your surrogacy is simple, supported, and successful.